Hello and welcome back to MindSpanse. My name's Craig and thank you for taking the time with me today. We're continuing our discussion about freeing your mind. And what I mean by that is we take all these things like gravity and being in two places at the same time and all this stuff for granted in the physical world, but actually in our mental visualizations, none of that stuff really exists. So why do we carry that with us? And they're good and bad things and whatnot. And it was an exploration that I did for about a year, and I want to share those things with you. So we talked about flying and gravity. We talked about being in two places at once, and from that came this shift of perspective exercise. And I want to do another one that evolved from that, which is super fun, and it really makes life a little more interesting and helps you to maybe understand how, from the Connected Universe videos I did, how we expand our consciousness beyond the realm of our body, our physical body, that maybe it's much, much, much broader than that. Just maybe. But first, let's take our big stretch. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. And we're good to go. So, I was sitting at a beach and there was it was a beautiful day. I mean, it was like one of these really, really beautiful days. The sky was like this deep blue and there's these puffy clouds and it was just not too hot and it was just amazing. And the water was relatively calm and the waves were like, shh, shh, like that. And there's this sailboat, this gorgeous big sailboat out in the water. And I was just watching it and it was just incredible. It was just like the sail was just perfect, and the wind was, with those clouds actually right above it, were shaped just like the sail. So it was like this whole image, connectivity, and it was amazing. And I was like, wow, I'd love to be on that sailboat. That would be cool. And I was thinking about this whole perspective thing, and moving your mind around. So I was like, let's see if I can do that in the real world. Like, maybe I can find a way to do that. So I sort of picked a point on the sailboat and then imagined what it might be like to be there. And then I'd sort of reground myself where I was on the beach, and then I'd move myself back, and I kept doing this back and forth until I was able to really ground myself in the sailboat and look at myself back on the beach. And it wasn't perfect, but it was good. I mean, it was an awesome experience, and it was really amazing to know that after one try, because usually these things take a while, right? But after one try, I was able to sort of have that experience that never existed in my life before, and it was cool. So I decided I was going to really practice that, and I ended up doing a whole guided meditation too, so you should check out its Perspectives 2, and it's about a 20-minute, 30-minute, pretty deep guided meditation that goes through an exercise like this in great detail, and I'll give you some of the highlights of it, so you can practice it, and then you can go listen to the meditation. So the basic thing is you get, obviously, wherever you are, or you could do this in your mind too, so either way. But you pick a spot, it's either on a beach or on a mountain or wherever you're sitting somewhere. And wherever this other place is, let's say I'm walking on the street and there's like a building, and I'd be like cool to be on the top of the building looking down on the street and go back and forth. It's probably dangerous, but whatever it is, you pick that spot. And first what you do is you ground yourself in the spot you're at. Look around where you are and pick some objects or create them in your mind, something that you can really recognize, like the color of the shirt or a flag, a very bright flag of some sort that you can relate to or look at. And then when you look out to that other place on the boat or on the building or on the mountain, First imagine just a shadow of a figure there, and you're sort of looking at this shadowy figure, and little by little that figure starts to looks like you maybe, or maybe the same shirt's there, or something, and there's the different color flag there, also very bright and very big, so you can connect to the two spaces. And then what you do is you create this bridge, like a light, like a really sparkling bright light that goes from your mind, your head, to that other shadowy person all the way over there. And let that just sort of sit with that until it really sinks in that there's this really deep connected tunnel of light between these two places, these two bodies. And then once you feel like good about that, just turn around and stare in your mind, or if you're here, stare at something, the flag or whatever you've decided is your grounding point here, and then just allow your consciousness to sort of drift through this incredibly sparkling light tunnel and watch yourself get farther and farther away. And this takes a little time, but you'll get it. It's not that hard. It happens pretty quick. Maybe after 3 or 4 times practicing it. And you go farther and farther away until you're now you see the flag, the new flag, and you ground yourself there. You grab pretend to be grabbing the grass or whatever it is, or a rock or something, to ground yourself, or touch the flag, whatever it is. And meanwhile, you're really staring at what you know was you on the other place, right? So you're switched, and then you go back, and you go back, and you go back and forth, and you'll get better and better and better at this, and it's really an incredible experience. You might actually feel a little dizzy or a little nervous, because there is a little sense of like you're a little bit of this out-of-body experience a little bit. So you may feel a fear, anxiety, but like I've talked about in all these episodes, that's really normal, and it happens when you go through this process of meditation and deeper meditations, and just fall back into it. Just instead of fighting against that anxiety, or just sort of allow it to sort of vibrate through your whole body, and like as if you're floating on bubbles, and they'll go away. They'll just bubble away, and you'll be fine. If you try to latch onto it or try to fight it off, or it gets stronger, so you're empowering it. So don't empower it, just fall back into it. And you'll find that this is a really cool experience. Again, why do I do this stuff? I just want to have a really interesting life. And we have this life here, we have this body, we have this world. We should make the most of our capabilities. And so why not explore all these capabilities? And of course, from a perspective point of view, it does really help to challenge your mind in this way, because what it does is when you're in a situation of conflict or miscommunication or whatever it is, or tension or anxiety or fear, you already have taught yourself how to change your mindset, and you know that you can change your mindset. So this exercise, while fun and interesting, it also has incredible practical use when you face difficult situations, because you realize that it's just a perspective that you're in, it's a place that you're in, and you can migrate yourself, your consciousness, to a different perspective and look at things differently, look at it from a different angle. And actually, when you continue this process, what you realize is in between those 2 points, you feel your consciousness at every point along the way, right? It's not like you're either here or there. You're sort of bump, 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 bump all the way through. And you can stop anywhere, right? You could stop in the middle and just be there. Or you could stop anywhere. And maybe there could be more of your consciousness endpoints at different points. And you could go zigzag anywhere. And it's sort of, all of a sudden you might think, wow, I'm sort of anywhere and everywhere at the same time. And it's that there is a moment when that flashes and you're like, we are totally connected, and we are this giant energy field, and not to be too whatever, but it really is like that, and it's a great feeling to sort of see through the veil of what is the illusion of our physicality and our physical perspective, that there's a lot more going on out there, and we have connectivity into it through our energy and our consciousness, and it allows us to have a lot of different capabilities that we can train. I mean, we train our body. You can't lift a giant weight initially, but you train and you lift a weight. So why not? And we train our mind to do math or to read, but why not train our brain to explore these other things? Improve our energy, improve our focus, improve our ability to lift the veil. And so with that, I'm going to leave you. Practice these things. They're really cool, and definitely check out the guided meditation, which is a much longer piece, and it's really fun. And subscribe to the channel, and like it. If you like it, share it with your friends or people who you think could really benefit from these types of exercises. And I wish you all a phenomenal, phenomenal day. Don't try too hard. This is all just a process. It's a process that's meant to be beautiful and fun and joyful and peaceful. And I see a lot of people ask me, like, how do I do this? And they get all stressed. Like, please don't get stressed out about your meditation practice. Just have fun with it. And everybody, I've been doing this for a long time, decades. And so enjoy the journey, and things evolve, and you'll have revelations as they are meant to happen. And be well. Thank you very much.